Greetings, fans. Black Tiger, back in the studio once more. Today we're going to talk about the insanity, the hostage taking situation that happened at Evergreen State University, or Evergreen College, whatever it's called. Either way, all these students, they've just completely lost their minds and engaged in, hostage taking, berating their professors, calling them names, surrounding them and screaming at them, uh, keeping them in rooms against their will, to the point where one of the faculty asked to use the restroom and they told him to hold it. Like that's sadistic. So, what happened there is an absolute shame. It's a national embarrassment, quite honestly. You know, you don't see footage currently from other countries of people just losing their minds and going completely stupid on college and university campuses. But you see it now in 2016 and 2017 in America. So it really is a national embarrassment. And the thing is, it's being encouraged and facilitated by leftism and these people are so brainwashed, deluded, like intoxicated with this false worldview that they have, that they think they're being inclusive and they think they're being tolerant, but they don't realize that they're being bigoted against a lot of people, and they're not tolerant of a lot of things. If they were tolerant, they wouldn't be forming groups like Antifa, as funded by George Soros as it is. They wouldn't be joining those groups and engaging in violence against people in the streets. But they use these lofty ideals as a shield to protect their image. So people that aren't going to do their homework, they're not going to research it, they're not really going to look into it. They're just gonna believe that these guys are anti-fascists. They're fighting Nazis. Bleh. But the thing is, it's like maybe there are some Nazis still in the government from the Nazis that were taken into the government during Operation Paperclip, which took place at the end of World War II, where we took in about 147 Nazi scientists and other people that were Nazis, like Werner von Braun. So maybe there are potentially some Nazis that are still in the government or in the shadow government, but they want people to believe that Trump supporters are Nazis, and that's obscene. That's absurd. It's almost like they're equivalents of Trump being Hitler. It's just preposterous. The lengths they go to, it's just incredible. They will dive deeper and deeper every time you think that they can't sink any lower. They manage to go to a new depth. It's truly incredible. But anyway, back to the college situation here. Yeah, a lot of these students are being blatantly racist. It gets to one point where one of these black girls starts saying how they had civilization, and when she says they, she means black people, way before you guys ever crawled out of your caves. Like, these people honestly believe the caveman theory, these false theories presented from elementary school textbooks and stuff. Were there people that lived in caves? Did people use caves? Yeah, obviously. Underground fortresses, caves, bunkers, like they're fortified structures. You put up some wood at the end, and then boom, you have a shelter. Like, the cave people were smart. Are you kidding me? But they've been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed their whole lives by media propaganda of the dumb caveman, the ooh booga boo ooga booga caveman, ugh hit rock stone fire. Like, people are idiotic. So that's how racist it is. It's mainly minorities. If you want to even use the term minorities, it's mainly blacks and Hispanics. Maybe some Asians. It looks like, but a lot of women, mostly women, and fags. There was a really angry, pissed off fag, and he was like, "These white ass people, blah 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 blah." Blah. And it's like, whoa, dude, you need to chill your deal. Firstly, secondly, stop being a faggot. Thirdly, what is wrong with you? Like, oh my goodness. And when you look at some of the other footage, there's this one other guy, and he walks up and he just starts screaming like he's gonna hit a person. And this person will let campus, and that's not okay. And like that's all these people are just screaming like childish temper tantrums. And that's the thing about it. It really does seem like all these people are engaging in a prolonged adolescence. Like they have not matured. They don't want to be adults. They're certainly not behaving like adults, even though they claim to be adults. But it's just ridiculous. They are so hypocritical. It just bleeds through without them even realizing. And it shows how immature they are. Like when they're in this office meeting room with this pathetic shell of a man, the president of the college, George, whatever his last name is, I don't care. I'll give him the respect of looking it up if he wasn't such a coward and he wasn't pathetic and he wasn't ruining that place. And he deserves to be fired and replaced by a strong man that can actually do the job proper. But anyways, this girl starts rolling her eyes, going all, and we have homework to do and other things. We have things to do, and it's like you have things to do. Yeah, you had things to do before you chose to ditch class, interrupt other people's classes, start screaming at professors, hold them hostage in rooms against their will, refusing to let them leave, or even to use the restroom in one instance. Yeah, you had things to do. You had things to do. You know what thing you had to do? You pieces of trash, you pieces of freaking garbage. To be decent people and to have some civility. But no, you've been warped and twisted. Your minds have been perverted into thinking that shouting people down and posting things like "fuck you" on people's windows when you're surrounding their whole building, everyone's screaming at them, not letting them leave. You think that's appropriate? You people are disgusting. That's reprehensible. You should be ashamed of yourselves. That's absolutely detestable. That's it's a pretty good description of it. I just never thought that I would see something so outrageous in America. And this is the thing. This is why we need to make America great again, because these people are the future. I mean, think about it. I am part of the future. I'm trying to have an impact on it. Like, geez, this is my contribution to make America great again. Trying to get some people to have some sense again and to think about things and to, start using some logic and reason. But past that, I don't have much ability to do anything else to try to make America too great. Like, I'm trying with some other endeavors, but government regulatory nonsense is getting in the way of that. So it's like, wow, you try to make America great again, but I don't know. Maybe we can get things to change again under the Trump administration, because it doesn't seem like he's in favor of businesses being inhibited or regulation being passed that allows monopolies and completely destroys new businesses from entering the market. So we'll see what happens on that front. Hopefully we can get rid of the EPA, but let's stay on subject here. These racist black, Hispanic, and Asian people, largely women, homosexuals, maybe some trannies, and a few dudes. And self-hating white people. Once again, self-hating white people that have been indoctrinated with race propaganda to hate their own race, to believe that white people are just evil. They're the only people to ever do slavery. Hey, dopes. You know how slavery worked with the colonists? See, when the slavers went to Africa, they bought African slaves from African slavers. The Africans were enslaving each other and selling them each other to other people. They didn't go down there and manslave. And it speaks about that in the Bible. When it speaks about slavery, it clearly distinguishes that slavery is three things mainly. One, an alternative to genocide, so that when you conquer a people through war, you don't have to just kill everybody, because if they're so corrupted in their ideology that leaving too many people alive will leave their ideology alive also, you pretty much want to kill them all, and that's how it was done. But if you don't want to kill them all and the ideology isn't entirely horrible, like there's a bunch of kids and like some women that weren't indoctrinated perhaps, then you can go with the slavery option, make them slaves and stuff. And you can even grant them freedom. Another form of slavery is voluntary slavery, or voluntary servitude. People would become other people's slaves so that they would have places to live, food and shelter. It's like it's like I want this job from you permanently, so they get this earring and a tattoo, and it's like I'm this dude's slave. I work his house, like if people want to do that, that's their choice. What's wrong with that? So anyways, this is another form of slavery. But the bad form of slavery, it's called man stealing. I said it wrong earlier. I said man slaving. Man stealing. Man stealing is where you go and you capture a free man and make him bonded. That is wrong, and the Bible even says so. So many of the colonists were Christians, and they weren't engaging in man stealing. They purchased slaves. So if you want to talk about African slavery, you also want to talk about Muslim slavery, slavery that existed beyond when America ended slavery. And I believe they still have some today, actually, in certain parts of their world. So, yeah, the whole notion that white people were the worst people ever with slavery in the history of mankind, that's complete nonsense. That's complete nonsense, race-baiting garbage, meant to make white people hate themselves, and meant to make black people feel superior. Also, it's a double race bait. It's a form of white shaming and black power encouragement. If you study racism, then you'll notice these things. You'll notice social constructs more acutely, and you'll have better discernment in your interactions. So yeah. I could go on and say more. I'm not sure if I want to or not. I've spoken for about 17 minutes. I'll make this a 20-minute video. I'll conclude with some more speech here. The notion on these college campuses, which perpetuates these activities, these racist activities. This notion is that black people cannot be racist because, according to them, they have a definition of racism that is defined as a system of power and like status or something like that. And they claim that since black people don't have a position in the system of power, then they therefore cannot be racist. They can't engage in racism. And it's like, no, idiots. Racism isn't a structure. Racism is a social construct. It's a phenomenon where people choose to dislike or hate other people based on characteristics such as their skin color or their ethnicity. If they're black, or if they're Chinese, or if they're Hispanic, or if they're Canadian, or if they're French. Or if they're a kraut, one of those smelly German krauts. Ugh. Or those hairy Austrians that don't shave their armpits. What's up with that? Why'd you guys follow France's trend? You know, like anyone can be racist. That's how racism works. Anyone can be racist because racism is a human choosing to dislike other humans based on the characteristics of their skin color or their ethnicity. So, yeah, these kids, they're being insanely racist, they're being insanely stupid, they're being insanely hostile and violent. They all deserve to be suspended from the college. If they want to have the remainder of their tuitions refunded, I'm fine with that, you know, because why should they have to pay for what they don't attend? If you're going to suspend them, then just, you know, cut the cord and give them money back for what they aren't going to be getting. So that way, it's very clear to them that they're not wanted back. And also, they can't say that, oh, you gypped me. So I say just get rid of them and teach them a lesson and teach the whole world a lesson that this type of behavior is not to be tolerated, not on college campuses, not anywhere. These people, they need a good dose of Jesus. So, you know, they all talk about love. They don't know what love is. They think that your you know, sexual organs getting all excited when you look at another person, they think that's love. No, that's lust. That's carnal instinct. True love is, you know, actually caring for a person emotionally based on, you know, their character, based on their spirit, you know, like based on who they are, their person. So that's all for now, guys. I'm gonna make this a 21-minute video, I suppose, because of the outro here. So thanks for watching. Keep on coming back for more. I will include the footage at the end here, I suppose, and come back next time for more great content. Please do become a Patreon. Go to my Patreon page. Do it right now. Do it now. Do it now. Give me money on my Patreon. I need the money on my Patreon. You have to give me the money on my Patreon. Do it now. So, yeah. Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, and share. Throw your hands in the air. Yeah, but seriously, subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you did. Or dislike it if you honestly didn't like it. But leave a comment then, too, and tell me why you didn't like it. And share it. Share this video with everybody. Peace. Black Tiger out. The classic way.
These racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist teachers have got to go. Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power!
Or do it.
Put your hand down. That's my problem, George. You keep doing these.
What about our protection right now? Fuck you and fuck the police! I would suggest that you take under heavily consideration those that oppose the training and
Let me remind y'all, that's how whiteness works. Whiteness is the most violent fucking system to ever breathe.
I want to cry. I can't tell you how fast my heart is beating right now. I'm shaking in my boots.
I got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist teachers have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho!
While somebody's talking, you are not listening. In your head, if you're thinking of a response while somebody is talking, that is not listening. You need to listen.
And to be honest with you, I don't even expect you to even say anything to me because I know actions speak louder than words. My mama didn't raise no fool.
Stop giggling and laughing every time we say something. Control it. Try.
Well, I heard her say that 11 o'clock this morning, she shouldn't have to be here at 5:30 still telling you to stop laughing.
It's not an accident that all of our administration is white.
Right.
It's not an accident. That shit is systematic as fuck. So what we sent over here.
I said, I'm tired of white people talking about what black and brown people need. You don't know.
I'm just trying to respond.
I'm letting you know. We're looking for you. Like, come on. You're not. No. You're not oppressed. Okay, sis.
I was there the other night and I read that email and everything that was pretty much described in that email was 100% wrong. And it was, you better just say that you sorry and yeah, you lied.
Because it was some straight up bullshit.
Asking you one more time, I'm giving you a chance. Was the information in that email factual? Yes or no? No, yes or no? Thank you. No, it was not factual.
Racist teachers have got to go. Hey, hey. Go home. These racist teachers have got to go. Hey, go home. These racist teachers have got to go. Hey, hey. Go home. These racist teachers have got to go. Hey, hey.
Protect us, but no, they fear from us. They fear of us trying to mace us in the eyes and shit. For what? For us saying like, hey, Brett, you need to apologize? For one fucking white guy?
Is there any black folks that need water in here?
Why is it all these black women and femmes doing all this emotional labor in this space? These white-ass faculty members need to be holding him and all these people accountable. We don't need to be doing all things.
Get out! You're not helpful. Get out!
Can you listen to your shirt?
Get out!
Shake and chill. You need to go.
Has demonstrated anti-blackness in the pigeonholing, charging, and sentencing of 2 black trans disabled students based on false racially charged allegations. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Get the camera on her.
Can we?
No, fuck you, George. We don't want to hear a goddamn thing you have to say. You
Then
talk
I
so
should-
fucking
then you're
much. No,
asking
you
me-
shut the
you're
fuck
asking
up.
me to-
No.
I think what's smart is not to I think what's smart is not to tone police people because people are angry, and so what matters is what they're saying, not how they're saying it.
Why don't you speak up? Because somebody keeps interrupting this man. I'm still trying to wait for him to answer the question whether it's bullshit or not. I want to hear what he has to say. So he can
Sit your ass down. Just turn, y'all. These are the lost ones. The lost ones are rising. Pay no attention. Johnny.
To make it seem like you have to simplify it for us. We're not simpletons. We're adults.
Right.
And so I'm telling you, you're speaking to your ancestors. All right? We've been here before you. We built these cities.
Right.
We've had civilization way before you ever had.
Right.
Coming out your caves, okay? So let's be.
You have the fucking nerve to fucking dehumanize like R and me have you within this whole.
And like mostly all the trannies too.
Yes, yeah.
This institution's really good at targeting trannies.
Yeah.
Man, pour his fucking soul out, and you're still here. Look, you called for a man who was being harassed or threatened. Why the fuck is he here? Please explain.
And what gets me is there was Shamir could just blatantly ask you what you could do to protect students, and you were ready. No, you sat here and you disregarded that all of us came here and took a risk to come here and be in this room with the way everybody's acting on campus, but you were ready to adjourn it for one white professor. Right?
What's your action?
Put your hand down, George.
Put your hand down.
Watch yourself. That's not appropriate. You gotta put your hands down. You know you gotta put your hands down.
Yes, Ike! Ike is a damn fool, y'all.
Okay? The thing is that my ancestors were slaves, and your ancestors were not. Your ancestors came here of free choice and decided to bring along my people not of their own free will to work and build this country. Okay, and so I'm just letting you know that slavery still has repercussions in society today. And that is what we're here about. Those repercussions. It doesn't go away. It's not over.
Thank you.